work, somebody's got to do it. It's probably you. It is you, actually. It's not even probably, it's definitely you that has to do the work. At the 8 o'clock service, Riley Punt said, yes, I remember, I'm forced to do chores. I can't wait till that stops. Are any of you still waiting for that to stop? Yes, I broke the sad news to her that chores would continue until she dies. There is always more work to be done. In the church, we have something called the 80-20 rule, where 20% of the people accomplish 80% of the things that the church accomplishes. Have any of you heard of a rule like that before? Do they have that where you work, perhaps? Yes, right? I remember working for Geico, and it was much that way. And they would punish you for getting your work done by transferring files to you from people who couldn't get their work done. Right? Because 80% of the work is going to get done by 20% of the people. And so we get together and we think about all of this work there is to be done and how we're the ones who are going to have to do it. And you know what we like to do in the church about that? We like to fret a little bit and fiddle with our fingers. Oh, how I love fretting. I think it's one of Jesus' favorite things for his people to do. But see, we get nervous because there's all this work on to do. And someone's got to do it, and we realize that that someone is going to be me. It's going to be us who has to get the work done. And so we get nervous, and our hands get fidgety, and we start to fret. How can we possibly get this much work done? There are not enough of us. We're working ourselves to death already. But Jesus, when he calls his people together, he warns them. It looks like Jesus is following into the fretting. The harvest is plentiful. Don't worry, there's plenty of work. But the laborers are few. It seems like Jesus may have experienced the 80-20 rule in his own life, and I bet he got to do chores growing up. But Jesus doesn't want his followers to fret. He doesn't want you to fret. Because fretting is not trusting. It's the opposite of trusting. It's distrusting, isn't it? Jesus tells his followers to do 3 things. Pray, go, do. Pray, go, do. First, he tells them there's a lot of work going. There ain't many people to do it. Pray that the Lord will send more people to do the work. Be faithful in your prayer, that God will send the right number of people to do work at the right time. Now, another story from when I worked at Geico, we did something called right sizing. It was about getting the right number of associates to do the work in the right way. Now, it's not downsizing, mind you, it's right sizing. We're getting the right number of people to do it in the right way, and it just so happens that the right number is fewer than we've got right now. So pray that God will right-size the church, that he will send the right number of people to do the work he would have us to do. And secretly pray that the right number is more people than we got right now, not fewer, okay? So don't be praying for fewer of us. Right? But pray that God will right-size us, that God will send the right number of people to do his work the right way here in this place at this time. 2, the Lord tells his people to go, to get up and go. The Greek, Jesus apostles his people. It's literally the word apostolos. Now, what do you think that means? Because you're going to say it in a minute in the Nicene Creed. The 8 o'clock crew didn't even know what it meant. Jesus is going to apostle you. What does that mean he's going to do to you? Send. Who said that? Oh, Mother Susan, she cheated. She took Greek in seminary. That's cheating. You can't do that. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. Well, she's right, come to find out. He's going to send you. But apostolos means more than just sending, like, get out of here. It means sending you with a purpose, with a job to do. Jesus is going to send you to do his work in the world. So when you say that we believe in one holy Catholic and apostolic church, you're saying that you believe that we are the sent church, the church that comes here to learn and to find out about Jesus and then goes out there where the people are. To go and be Jesus' hands and feet. And to live your life in a way such that they might recognize who Jesus is through you. And because of you. To go and invite them to come and find out about who Jesus is here. Pray that God will send the right number of workers. Go and do the work yourself. Now, I know what you're saying. I'm all prayed up. If you aren't, the daily office found in the Book of Common Prayer is a great way to get prayed up. It starts on page 75 for morning prayer, 115 for evening prayer. I can teach you to pray if you want to get better at that. But if you're sure that you're prayed up, you are already talking to God and listening to God and reading Scripture every day. And you're praying that God's going to send the right number of people here to do the work the right way. And you're already going and working diligently. And you know the difference between just working and working diligently, don't you? Like, I remember when I was a kid and I had to clean the bathroom or something. I would go and I would use lots of extra chemicals. Now, why would you use extra chemicals? So it smells clean. Whether you've actually cleaned it or not, it really smelled like a lot had been done. Some of you have probably done that. That is not actually diligently working. That's just spreading stuff around and making it smell. But if you are actually doing your work, and you are prayed up, and it still feels like there's too much work to be done, know that Jesus didn't say, go and work yourself to death. He said, pray, go, and do what I've told you to do. Now, we would have to come back together and do some discernment together. Discernment's just a fancy word for praying and thinking. About, are we doing the right sort of work? Are we doing the work Jesus has called us to do? Because, don't be surprised if you're doing a bunch of stuff you ain't supposed to be doing in the first place, that you're not real successful at getting it done. But if you're doing the work that Jesus has given you to do, you will have enough people and enough money and enough resources and enough energy to do it. Provided you're prayed up and you're diligent and you're doing what he told you to do. You, friends, are that holy Catholic and Apostolic Church, sanctified by Jesus Christ. So remember, when work is on, and as I told Riley Plant secretly, it will always be on. Pray that the Lord will send the people we need. work diligently to do the work. And then go and do it. Amen.